Guys, what's going on? Mike Renard here. I am so excited you're on this page because I have something that I think is going to be a real game changer for you and your business, especially if you want to start crushing it with Facebook ads, which I'm assuming you do because you're here, right? So if you're trying to run Facebook ads right now, you're probably hearing a lot of the noise in the marketplace. Facebook ads are hard. Facebook ads are dead. It's more competitive. It's expensive. I can't get it to work. My ads burn out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? There is a ton of noise. And it is true. Competition is increasing and Facebook ads have gotten harder. And that's why a lot of people are talking about that stuff. And so it does make sense. But I talk to a lot of business owners who think that they have a Facebook ads problem. And I'm going to say 98% of the time, they actually have a deeper problem. It's something else, right? And yes, there are things they can improve on the Facebook side. They can make the messaging stronger. We could give them a better strategy to scale up. All of these different things that we could improve, but those are only going to be incremental improvements if there is a deeper foundational issue, right? And so this graphic that you're looking at is something that I call the just the tip pyramid of paid traffic misery. And the challenge is if you don't have a great foundation, which we're going to talk about in a second, if you don't have a great foundation, Facebook ads can only take you so far, right? Just the tip of the pyramid is what you get. And that's what you're looking at in scenario A here, right? So a lot of people heard Facebook ads are easy. Just get Facebook ads going. All you got to do is put up an ad, right? And so they start running ads. And yes, they think about the strategy. I'm not saying that they're just rushing into it and not thinking about it, but they didn't build the right foundation, and all they're getting is the tip of that growth, right? And you can see there's a huge growth gap for what's potential. Right? The potential growth line at the top is way, 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 way above, but they can only take it so far just by getting the Facebook ads going, right? So let's talk about scenario B. And this is probably where most people fall. They spent some time thinking about the foundation, right? They thought about the funnel a little bit. They dialed in their offer. They spent some time on those things, right? But they didn't build a real foundation. They didn't structure and set it up following a real proven process, right? Maybe they saw what somebody else was doing and said, "Hey, let's try that too," and put it into their business. And then that was pretty much the last time they thought about it. And now they're running Facebook ads and trying to get the Facebook ads to work. But again, their potential is only so high, right? They're still going to have a huge growth gap because the foundation isn't truly built. Um, and what I want for you is scenario C, right? Because scenario C is where, oh man, this is where the control for scale happens. This is where you can really grow. This is where everything comes together because you've taken the time to build those foundational elements that are so, so, so important. And those foundational elements are, number one, really understanding your market. And just being a part of the market and filling out some research worksheets isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really understanding what they want and what you can give them that will separate you from everybody else in the marketplace, right? You're going to be number one in your ideal customers' minds. How do you do that? Well, you really got to understand people. That's number one. Number two, we need to have what I call a vice offer. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into that, but basically it is there's four elements to it, and it is a no-brainer offer that grabs the attention of your ideal customer, right? And it gets them to raise their hand. And I'm sure you can think of some great offers that have stood out to you in an insanely amazing way, right? Where you just had to get it, right? So that's what we're talking about. That's what a vice offer is. And number three, we have to have a funnel that converts cold traffic fast enough to be possible, right? Or to be profitable and to scale. So what that means is a lot of people do have funnels that convert, right? Because let's be honest, if somebody is raising their hand for your lead magnet and they opt in and they buy 3 months later or 6 months later, they still bought, right? But it's going to be pretty hard to scale that unless you just have tons of cash lying around that you can invest in Facebook ads and wait, 3 to 6 months for those profits to come back. So What's step four? Well, step four, after we got all of those things lined up, that's the Facebook ads. And there is a ton of stuff you can do to optimize and all that. And I know that's the sexy part. It's the fun part, right? But I can tell you this, it's a lot more fun when the foundational elements are lined up. So there's a good chance that your business falls into scenario B, right? And I don't know exactly what's missing, right? But there's some type of gap, right? And that's what's preventing you from really scaling with Facebook ads. Hey, maybe it is some stuff in the ads. Maybe it's some stuff with the offer. Maybe it's some stuff with the funnel. And maybe it's taking a big step back and really looking at the market and saying, hey, is this really what works? Is this what people really want? Is this the problem they're really dealing with, the deepest problem they're dealing with? Okay, and all that stuff is super important. Unfortunately, I am not a magician. I can't just say, hey, here's what you're dealing with right now. What I can do is jump on a call with you. We will brainstorm through each of these elements and take a look at what's missing in your business, what's creating the growth gap, right? What's keeping you from being in control of your growth and profitably scaling up. And if you would like to do that, you can, hit that button below. There should be one right on this page. You can grab a time on my calendar, okay? And it's probably going to take 40, 45 minutes, something like that. We're going to go deep. Okay. So get ready to take a look at your business. And I am going to ask you a couple questions right after you schedule a time, just to give me some context on your business, and help me get a little bit of a head start thinking through, where your gap might be. And then once we figure out the gap, we'll start building a blueprint to help you scale up. So if you would, like to do that, I'd love to talk to you. So schedule a time, fill out some questions, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. See ya.